In the distant future, to save them from extinction on Earth, animals and plants were sent into space, where they built their own unique and self-sufficient civilization. The story takes place in the distant future, when humanity has mastered space, built massive starships, and even started traveling to neighboring planets. Amid a grove of trees, a man floats and enjoys the water. Emerging from a small pond, he greets some adorable rabbits and then inspects his plants. While tending to a garden bed, he hears the sound of approaching vehicles. It's his teammates, who have decided to have a race on the station. The man is outraged, they show no respect for his work and even trample his flowers and grass. Laughing at the botanist, the others drive off, still enjoying their antics elsewhere on the station. After finishing their fun, they start talking about Lowell and his obsessive dedication to plants. Later, in the recreation room, the men debate what they see as a foolish and pointless idea: restoring vegetation on Earth. Just then, the gardener himself enters, carrying fresh fruits and vegetables. He doesn't share his friends' views and can't understand their indifference. Passing them on his way to the kitchen, he opens a window, washes the fruits, and recalls the day when special stations were sent into space to revive forests inside carefully controlled domes. It was a desperate move, the last hope for humanity to restore the planet's flora and fauna. Some time later, the entire crew is playing poker. Lowell skillfully outplays his teammates, taking the entire pot. His smugness irritates the others, but they move on and begin discussing the upcoming communications session. 3 of the men hope they'll finally be sent back home. Lowell, however, is confident it will happen, not because of luck, but because his work has already made it possible to restore parks and gardens on Earth. He has devoted 8 years of his life to this project and is ready to keep working to bring Earth's flora back. The others remain skeptical, seeing it as a pointless waste of time, convinced the project will be shut down rather than succeed. Lowell is deeply disappointed by their words, yet he continues to dream of success. Someone has too. Eventually, Berkshire Command contacts the Valley Forge space station. The crew eagerly awaits further instructions, but what they hear shocks Lowell. The command orders the destruction of all the domes and the return of the starships to the commercial fleet. The other 3 men are ecstatic, they're finally going home. Seeing the gardener's disappointment, they sympathize, explaining that it's the practical, rational choice. Leaving the crew behind, the man walks toward his forests. As he strolls among the trees, bushes, and flowers, he greets the birds and small animals. He can't believe that very soon, all of this will come to an end. Back in the dining quarters, the gardener slices a melon he grew himself. The others laugh at Lowell, unable to understand his passion and love for the dirty, smelly plants. In response, Lowell passionately expresses his disgust at the synthetic food they all consume. People have grown so used to it that they don't even notice how nauseating, tasteless, and colorless it is. They've even forgotten what green grass, flowers, trees, and a blue sky look like. On Earth, the temperature is plus 24 degrees Celsius year-round. Everything and everyone is the same, but Lowell believes it's not too late to change it. His friends only laugh at his words. They don't understand his outrage. On the planet, there are no more diseases, hunger, unemployment, or poverty. Isn't that enough? But for Lowell, it's meaningless. He can acknowledge these as achievements, but at what cost? Humanity has sacrificed beauty and imagination. There are no more peaks to conquer, no new frontiers to explore, and it all happened because of widespread indifference. Behind them on the wall hang photographs, including one of a little girl. Like all children, she will never see living nature or experience its beauty because of adults' apathy. After listening to the gardener's passionate speech, the others just shrug. If it really mattered to them, they would have changed it long ago. Seeing that his words have no effect, Lowell makes one final plea. He asks his teammates not to destroy the domes, but they've received their orders, and they have no choice. Immediately after the conversation, the men set to work carrying out the command. One of the workers cuts his hand while moving between the trees. After examining the wound, the others send him to Lowell. The man asks the gardener to check the injury. Lowell agrees, and together they go to the medical bay. There, Lowell examines the wound, treats it, and bandages it. At that moment, the radio announces that in 5 minutes, the station will reach the maneuver point at a safe distance from other domes. They need to prepare for the maneuver. The man asks Lowell for help. He can't complete the task alone. With a heavy heart, Lowell agrees, and they head to the station's control room. Overcoming his fears, the man follows Marty's instructions and maneuvers the ship away from the neighboring vessels. Meanwhile, the other 2 men locate special pipes inside each dome and set explosives. They are completely indifferent, and even gleeful, ignoring the fact that animals will die along with the trees. As the crew prepares to destroy the domes, and explosions are already happening on nearby stations, Lowell spends time with his plants, cherishing every remaining moment. Suddenly, several explosions ring out. The gardener, Lowell, realizes in horror that his domes are being destroyed. When the 4th one goes up, he knows he has to try to save at least something. At that moment, one of the crew arrives carrying explosives. Lowell meets him with a shovel raised, declaring that he will not allow the forest to be destroyed. The man pushes Lowell, and a brutal fight breaks out. In the heat of the struggle, the worker injures the botanist, but Lowell ignores the pain and kills his attacker. Leaping to his feet, he rushes to the dome control panel. he knows the other two men are in the fifth forest. Acting fast, he blocks them there, then detaches the dome from the station and activates its self-destruction. Once he's certain the last forest is safe, he limps to the pilot cabin, dragging his wounded leg along the floor. At that moment, Berkshire Command contacts him. Unsure what to do next, Lowell reports a minor docking system malfunction and asks for time to fix it. Back on Earth, they sound concerned and urge him to hurry. Switching to the three drones, Lowell orders them to connect to the cargo bay. Immediately afterward, Berkshire calls again to check on his status. He admits things aren't perfect, but assures them he can handle it. Neil urges him to hurry, the darkness is approaching, and they're near a shadow zone. He commands Lowell to destroy everything at any cost and return home. The gardener promises they will try to follow orders. After ending the communication, Lowell sets the flight coordinates for Saturn. He listens to updates from other ships, and then Neil's voice comes over again, worried that Valley Forge is entering the shadow zone on a trajectory toward Saturn. Lowell sharply cuts him off, explaining that they're busy fixing the malfunctions, and then he disconnects. Meanwhile, the drones reach the cargo bay and release several cargo modules, simulating an explosion caused by a premature dome detonation. Lowell reports that generator tires on panels 3, 8, and 9 have burned out. Berkshire is alarmed, and Neil asks him to contact either Berker or Wolf. Lowell explains he can't find anyone, they're most likely in the second dome. Tension spikes. Anderson comes on the line, instructing Lowell to change course immediately. If he doesn't, the ship will collide with Saturn's rings tomorrow morning. These ships aren't designed for rapid maneuvers. Survival is unlikely. Anderson suggests locating the spot where the explosion damaged the main bus and trying to reroute. It won't be easy, but it's their best chance. Lowell agrees and asks where to start. Anderson reports that several cargo modules appear to have detached from the starboard side. They believe one of the cryo tanks under the hull may have disconnected and shorted the main bus. If that's true, it's a stroke of luck. After giving his advice with a wry smile, Anderson signs off. After ending the communication session, he nearly loses consciousness from the unbearable pain. Collapsing to the floor, he spots drone number 1 and briefly blacks out. When he comes to, he gathers all his strength, stands up, and finds the drone's user manual. In it, he discovers a section on how to reprogram the robots, and immediately gets to work. Once the drones are reprogrammed, he orders them to perform surgery on his leg. Moving to the operating room, he waits nervously for the procedure, but to his surprise, everything goes smoothly, and the robots successfully operate. A little later, he contacts Anderson to report that the main bus cannot be repaired. Anderson is deeply disappointed. They won't be able to stop the ship before the collision. He even suggests that Lowell consider suicide, but Lowell refuses. Instead, Anderson proposes sending a search team, just in case the gardener survives. Before ending the call, Anderson wishes him luck. Exhausted from everything that happened that day, Lowell goes to sleep. Some time later, he wakes to violent shaking. The ship has reached Saturn's rings and entered them. Struggling to reach the pilot's cabin, he gives commands to the drones and watches on the monitors as one of them is pulled into open space. After a while, the shaking stops as abruptly as it began, and Lowell realizes that, despite the odds, they've cleared the dangerous obstacle. Confident that he and his forest are now safe, Lowell returns to his usual duties. The only thing that troubles him is the body of his fallen companion lying in the forest. He sends the drones to bury it. Before they do, he gives a farewell speech, admitting that no one on the crew was truly his friend, but he loved them and probably will never forgive himself for what happened. Memories and sorrow bring him to tears, though he knows he had no other choice. Some time later, Lowell decides to give the drones names. He calls them Huey, Dewey, and Louie, naming the last one posthumously. He explains that he has reprogrammed them and that from now on, they will obey only him. They will continue handling technical checks and all other duties, but he also teaches the remaining 2 robots how to care for the forest, its plants, and its animals. He shows them how to transplant plants from pots into the soil, how to fertilize, and how to water. Day after day passes in a blur of work and responsibilities. At some point, Lowell begins to lose his mind from loneliness and memories. He races himself through the station, walks in circles across the ship, recalls his fallen comrades, and plays billiards. Out of desperation, an idea strikes him. He decides to teach the drones to play poker. He programs the rules into them. At first, it seems to work, but during the game, he realizes that no robot can replace real human company. Still, he decides to give it one more try, hoping the robots might grasp the rules, and to his delight, Huey wins that round. One day, Lowell prepares a meal from synthetic ingredients. Looking at the finished dish, he decides to throw it away and collect real food from his forest. But when he enters the dome, horror strikes. His plants are dying. He immediately starts investigating, conducting experiments, consulting books, trying everything he can, but the cause eludes him. In desperation, he runs through the station, imagining he's running through a beautiful forest back on Earth. Later, he sends Huey into the dome to collect samples and notices birds fighting on the ground. Alarmed, he decides to investigate in person. He climbs into a vehicle and speeds toward the dome, But disaster strikes. He collides with a drone that was supposed to be waiting in the forest. Bringing the damaged robot back to the lab, the gardener attempts repairs. He manages to get Huey partially working, but realizes the drone will never function as before. This deeply frustrates him, and Dewey, sitting in his lab, Lowell talks to the drone. He still hasn't discovered why the forest is dying or how to prevent the plants from perishing. Some time later, he wakes to a live radio transmission. It's Berkshire calling, a complete shock, as he never expected to be found. After a moment of hesitation, he responds. Anderson cheerfully informs him that they've been searching for him. Once the ship passed Saturn's rings, they sent a search team after him. Even with their equipment, finding the Valley Forge was no easy task, but they never gave up. Then Anderson orders him to figure out how to release the dome. Due to the heavy darkness, the safest option is to avoid detonating it. In that moment, a realization hits Lowell. He finally understands why his forest is dying. It's the sun, there isn't enough light, and the plants are starving. As he grasps that the forest can still be saved, Anderson reports that they'll reach his ship in 6 hours. Ending the communication, the gardener races to the dome and installs lights to replace the missing sunlight. Once satisfied that he's done all he can, he instructs Dewey to care for the forest. Unfortunately, Huey is too damaged to help, leaving all the responsibility to a single drone. Leaving Dewey in the dome, Lowell returns to the ship and detaches the dome, sending it drifting through open space. Realizing that his actions will be discovered as soon as help arrives, the gardener makes a grim decision. Remembering his childhood and his crew, he activates the nuclear charges, destroying the Valley Forge along with himself and Huey. In the final scene, in the silent expanse of space, the last dome drifts slowly, illuminated by the lights that now serve as the sun. Inside, Dewey carefully tends to the plants, watering them with the old, worn watering can of Freeman Lowell, the man who sacrificed himself to preserve the life of plants and animals. Question to viewers: what do you think is more valuable, human life or nature? Share your thoughts in the comments down below, give a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next videos.